Where do we want to go to first? Dupree Manor. Bow Street's Gow? Oh my god. 451 Compton Street? Wait, I got 3 locations here? I don't remember which one was 451 Compton Street. Let's go here.
Fordham? Is that you?
Yeah?
You look like something a cat spat up.
Hello, Giles. It's lovely to see you too.
I can eavesdrop on the patrons if I stand close enough. I heard a couple of them.
What brings you around the jail? I thought you'd quit being a detective.
I'm looking to speak with Mr. Albert Martin.
Oh, I see. Well, that's him in the first cell there. I'd say what needs saying as quick as you can, though. He's headed for the gallows in the morning.
What? Already? But what about a trial?
No trial necessary when there's black magic involved. This little half-breed's already sealed his fate.
Such a charming fellow, isn't he?
Is that word jail? What is that word? G-A-O-L? What is that? Looks like JonTron. Does it? I guess it does.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
So is that like an Old English way to spell jail? I don't know. I've never seen it that way before. It's the old-timely spelling of jail. There you go. I did not know that.
Either crime is low, or the police aren't doing their jobs very well. Not much in the way of comfort. No bed or even a bucket. It's a good thing this place is meant for short stays.
All right, let's talk to this guy.
Mr. Martin?
Who are you? My lawyer?
No, I'm actually here to help you. The name's Miles Fordham. I'm a private investigator.
How are you going to help me?
I'm looking into the attack on Madame Dupre. I believe you're innocent.
Oh, thank heaven. That's music to my ears.
Would you mind answering a few questions for me?
Friend, if it means saving me from the noose, I'll tell you nothing less than God's truth.
Interesting choice of phrase for someone accused of using black magic.
Bill took the words out of my mouth. All right, let's talk about you, sir.
How did you end up in here?
I was just minding my own business at home when the police showed up with no warning. They made some outrageous claims about me putting some sort of curse on Madame Dupre. The next thing I knew, I was here. Oh, Mama must be beside herself with worry. I just hope she's all right.
Is his audio peaking? It sounded like it was peaking.
What does your mother do, Mr. Martin?
She helps people.
I was hoping you'd be just a bit more specific.
She does curses!
She provides spiritual help to those who seek guidance.
Uh-huh.
She's a spiritualist.
Not quite. She's more like... how can I explain it? You know how a priest holds mass to spread the word of God to the people? My mother holds services and calls on the spirits to walk among us, providing healing and guidance.
So she's a religious leader?
If you want to give her that title, it would be the most appropriate.
And does this religion of yours have a name?
You'd probably know it as voodoo, but it doesn't mean what you think it does. People are so quick to judge and portray us as evil when they have no idea.
I've played Monkey Island. I know what voodoo does.
So you practice voodoo, do you?
Are you making fun of me, Mr. Fordham?
No, of course not. Apologies if it seemed as though I was. It's just that the police are convinced that black magic was involved in Madame Dupre's apparent death.
That's because that idiot son of hers knew about my mother, and like all bigoted fools, assumed that we're involved in devil worship and the black arts. But I can assure you that this is most certainly not the case, Mr. Fordham.
Of course, I didn't mean to imply.
Just forget it.
How am I supposed to prove this guy's innocent?
What can you tell me about Madame Dupre?
What's to tell? She's a twisted, evil woman who got what was coming to her.
Damn.
Whoever attacked her deserves some sort of reward for the service they're doing the community.
So it wasn't you then?
Wow.
No, I'm innocent, Mr. Fordham. You have to believe me.
I'm afraid you're not making that very easy right now, Mr. Martin. Do you know anything about the circumstances of Madame Dupre's supposed death?
No, I had nothing to do with it.
Then why did her son accuse you?
Probably because he's just as ignorant as she is.
What I meant was, how did her son know to accuse you? Have you had any contact with the family before?
Power of the voodoo!
Yes, you could say that.
Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
Yeah.
That gleam in his eye says it all.
You see, I'm involved with Dupre's daughter, Juliet Montgomery.
Oh, boy.
Dupre doesn't like that one bit. She even threatened me once.
Is that right?
Yes. She might have everyone else fooled, but that woman is the devil incarnate. I can't understand how something so heartless and cruel could have spawned someone as pure and, loving as my dear Juliet.
He's not really helping his case much, is he?
No, he's not.
Tell me about Juliet.
She's wonderful. Such a beautiful, kind soul. She hasn't come to see me yet, but I'm sure that's because of all the confusion in the last few days. Juliet wouldn't believe for a second that I would be capable of harming her mother. I'm sure of it.
How did you two get involved?
We met at the university.
Your classmates?
Hardly. They wouldn't allow someone like me to enroll there. Juliet studies botany. I work as an assistant in the greenhouse. We started talking, and she actually treated me like a person. To everyone else, I was just the boy who fetched the test tubes. But Juliet actually wanted to hear what I had to say, had the same taste in books and art, didn't just treat me like some piece of gardening equipment. She even shared some of her notes with me after I told her I was interested in botany as well. From there, things just got better. I don't expect you to understand or approve, but that's how it happened.
Oh, you'd be surprised. It doesn't sound too different to how my wife and I got together. Except I was a detective and she was a singer at a bar.
And she's...
Yes, Mr. Martin. Anyway, back to the matter at hand. How often is Juliet in the greenhouse?
Every weekday, but I doubt she's there now. She's probably trying to find out where I am and working to have me released.
Somehow, I wouldn't bet on that.
That's all for now.
Oh, wait, before you go, would you do me a favor? Would you go see my mother at our house and give her a message?
Sure.
You're at 451 Compton Street, right?
Ah.
Yes, that's right. Could you tell her I said St. Rock's dog is barking?
What?
I suppose I could do that.
No,
Yes.
I don't want to do that.
Thank you.
Whatever happened to a simple I love you?
It's a code. You're not going to pass along that. You're not going to be an accomplice to whatever is going on. Anyways, I got a storm rolling in. I'm going to keep on playing, though. But if I do cut out, then you'll guys know. I should be okay because if it's just like a flicker, I'll be fine because I have everything on a battery backup, including my modem and router and everything. So I should be fine if I get a flicker. But if it's like a full-blown outage, you'll lose me pretty quickly.
I bet that's a direct line to the police department. You should make a rude noise into it when Giles isn't paying attention.
Oh, can we do that? That feels like we're gonna bust this guy out of here.
He's watching you like a hawk. Looks liable to toss you in one of his cells if you try any funny business.
So it's interesting that botany is such a focus, right? We had the flower shop, so our partner gets killed investigating a burglary of a flower shop, and now this kid, or this guy, worked at a greenhouse, and he fell in love with a girl who was interested in botany. His mom's a voodoo lady who probably was breaking into flower shops, stealing flowers, because she needs some kind of extracts from flowers in order to do her voodoo shit. Who knows what it is. Let's save while I'm doing something. I haven't done that yet. Hold on here. There we go. Zombotany? Oh my god. Alright, so we're done here. That's his mother's house. There's the university. However, I wanted to go back home and read the newspaper about Madame Dupre.
Seeing you come home always puts a smile on my face. So what's this big case Upton's got you on? Another missing pet?
If only. A Gascon Grand Dame was attacked and almost interred alive.
You mean Madame Dupre? The one whose obituary was in the paper?
The very same.
Goodness, that does sound serious. Tell me if there's anything I can do to help. I know you haven't been feeling your best lately.
You're always a help to me, Addie. Though I assure you I have this well in hand.
I certainly hope so.
Okay. Thanks for the support, honey. Alright, Madame Dupre. Laura Dupre, aged 44, died on Saturday of apparent natural causes. Born Laura Chesterton in London in 1800, she and her family moved to New Britain in 1804. In 1818, she married Colonel Andrew Shepherd, a royal officer 30 years her senior. Boy. The marriage lasted 1 year, ending with Shepherd's death during a trip to Piedmont. Shortly after, Dupre married Benjamin Montgomery, a doctor. They had 2 children, Juliet and Andrew. Sadly, Benjamin died of tuberculosis in 1830, and 5 years later, Laura married Jean Dupre, a banker. Dupre was known throughout the community as a great humanitarian for her policy of exclusively employing humans rather than using automated service machines in her manner. Funeral services to be held on page 5, which I guess I can't read.
Your book collection is always astonishing.
Nope, I wasn't pointing at that, sir. I'm guessing I can't read those. That's just the front page of the paper then. Okay, so we got a little bit about her. She was a humanitarian.
Done.
Take care of yourself out there.
She also was resistant to steam. That's another theme going on here. A lot of the people we've run into have been like that. Let's go to the home.
Ah, Compton Street. We're not too far from restaurant. When's the last time you
Oops,
ate anyway?
I clicked it.
Please,
All
let's
right.
not add eating to the list of things to nag me about.
Butcher shop, cab depot, a random door. That's her. That's 451. All right, let's go look at these
I'm
things.
glad that Coulson still uses horses. I don't trust the new self-driving cabs.
Self-driving. Wait, can I not go out in the street? I guess I stop here? Okay.
One of Atwood's re-election posters, sorely lacking a mustache. Go on, Miles. Fix this grievous injustice.
Not now, Bill. There are more important things to worry about.
Spoil sport. Considering how many eating establishments are in this neighborhood, the butcher picked a fantastic spot to set up shop. I do notice a distinct lack of stray cats in this neighborhood, though.
Boy. Is that what I was hearing earlier? Was a cat and not a baby? I wonder if that's what that was. There was something else I saw here. Where was it? Just the restaurant? Okay.
Bon Bon's restaurant. I never got a chance to go there, but I hear their deviled eggs are simply to die for.
I think that's it. Let's go inside. I thought this was in the 1800s. It is. It's an alternate timeline, though. You got to keep that in mind. This is 1844, but it's not the 1844 that happened to us, right? This is what I think is. I don't think the game has explicitly stated it, but it's America, but it's not America. It's an alternate America where we're still under British rule or English rule, whatever you want to call it. I don't know. And this isn't New York. I'm guessing New York is actually New Britain or Britannia, Britain, whatever it is. Self-driving, yes, but this is steampunk. So steampunk, like Victorian steampunk, will have automation like that, steam automation. So that's where you get the self-driving from. So it's an alternative timeline, which I dig. I love alternative timelines, so that shit's right up my alley, man.
I'm sorry, I have no time for visitors today.
You'll want to talk to me, lady. Albert gave me a message. Sorry to bother you. No, I don't want to give the message. I'm a little worried about that message.
I need to speak with you about Albert Martin.
Albert? Are you with the police?
No, I'm a private investigator.
Oh, I don't think you can help. I'm sorry.
I can help? What are you talking about? Oh, man, I don't want to give that message.
You're Albert Martin's mother, aren't you?
Who are you?
Miles Fordham. I spoke with Albert, and he told me to give you a message. He said to tell you that St. Roch's dog is barking.
Oh, I see. That's good. That's very good. You better come in, Mr. Fordham. Standing on the street just won't do.
Okay, let's get down to business. Holy cow, look what she's... So she doesn't trust
Welcome
steam.
to my home, Mr. Fordham. I am Sabine Martin. I hope you understand that Albert has nothing to do with this awful business. Would you care for some tea?
Well, her tune certainly changed when you gave her that message. I wonder what it meant.
Mm-hmm.
No, thank you, ma'am. I won't be staying long.
Have you read any Harry Turtledove? He writes alternative history. I have not. I recognize the name though. I recognize the name. I can't remember any of his books though. I used to work at a bookstore, so I know a little bit about it, but I don't remember.
A rather unremarkable book collection, I'm sorry to say. That statue, on the other hand, gives me the willies.
What statue? This thing?
For all we know, that rider is some sort of demon. He looks like he's having a good time, at least.
Looks like a cowboy. Interesting. This is the voodoo lady, remember?
Interesting. Those pots look as though they've been wrapped in tobacco leaves.
Okay.
That pattern resembles a flower. Too bad it isn't an Easter lily.
I was just about to say!
It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
Isn't that supposed to be the devil, right? The devil with his hound at the crossroads? Only that's obviously not a hound. That looks more like a dachshund or something. I don't know. But isn't that supposed to be the devil?
It's some old man with a dog standing at the center of a crossroads. If that's meant to have any sort of significance, it's completely lost on me.
Yeah, it's the devil. That's why.
The Virgin Mary? I must admit, she was the last person I was expecting to see in here.
Another one where Atlantis didn't sink? Yeah, it sounds like his stuff would be up my alley. Can I go in the other room?
I'm afraid that room
Okay,
is
I was about to
private, Mr.
say.
Fordham. I must respectfully ask you to not go in there.
This is very...
Of course. My apologies.
This is what happened with the voodoo lady on Monkey Island, isn't it? She wouldn't let you go back into her back room, if I remember correctly. It's been so long since I played it. That's another game I want to play on stream, by the way. We'll do that in September. I'm doing Pirate Month in September. We're going to play all the Monkey Island games. I guess all that's left is to talk to her.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
That's where you go to sell your soul. Yeah, that's right. Sell your soul so you can play the blues music real good. Yeah, that's right. It's, that was in, Oh Brother, Where Art Thou?
I think I'll take you up on your offer for tea, after all.
All right, Mr. Fordham. You'll have to give me a few minutes to heat up the kettle. I'll be back shortly.
Okay. Do I get to snoop while she's doing that? Maybe? No?
Interesting. Those pots look rather unremarkable. For all we know, that rider is some... That pattern resembles... It's some old...
Nothing new. I don't want to leave. Can I go snoop on her? Whoa!
Amazing. Even more voodoo stuff back there. Why would she keep these particular items hidden from view?
Well, I
Good
mean,
question.
it's her house. I mean... Oh, wait. Oh, she wasn't back there. She was to the
ready in a
side.
few minutes, Mr. Fordham. You can help yourself once it's done.
You're very kind, Mrs. Martin.
Thank you, Mrs. Martin.
I've got a few questions for you, Mrs. Martin.
I'll try to answer them the best I can.
Let's talk about her.
What exactly is it you do, Mrs. Martin?
I provide services to the public.
A delightfully vague answer if there ever was one.
Yep.
Give me something a bit more specific, please.
I'm a Mambo Asugwe. That means I'm what you call a voodoo queen. I'd give you a detailed explanation of the responsibilities and duties of the role, but your time would be better spent clearing my son's name.
Damn, she's a little, pushy here.
Can you tell me a bit more about your religious practices?
What I can tell you is that the ignorant whites in this city are afraid of us for no reason. Voodoo is not about black magic or dark spells or turning people into the living dead. It's about healing and life. Naturally, there are misguided souls who may try to use it for ill purposes, but I am not one of those.
Sounds like you hit a sore spot. Might be a good idea to stop pressing her on this angle.
Oh, so he's giving me a little bit of advice. Well, I don't have an option to press on it anyways. All right, let's talk about, the girl that died.
Do you know anything about Madame Laura Dupre?
I never met her in person, but I know plenty about her.
Like what?
Nothing fit for polite conversation, Mr. Fordham. But I can tell you this. Laura Dupre has far more enemies than she lets on.
Does that include you or your son?
It most certainly does not.
Okay.
Do you think your son is capable of doing what he stands accused of?
Never. Albert wouldn't harm a fly.
That's what the mothers always say.
Why don't you tell me a bit more about him then?
He started working at the university laboratory a few years ago. I was so proud of him. The university is quite selective, you know. The same for its staff as well as its students.
Yes, I've gotten that impression.
I always told Albert to be careful around those high society types, but that one always thinks with his heart first.
Is she sure that's the correct body part?
He's all the family I have, Mr. Fordham.
So, yeah, thank you, Grundislav. Curious to see what solution I reach. If that's what happens, that'll be so cool, where it doesn't hold my hand to a specific conclusion. I get to make a choice at the end on what happened or who did what or whatever, and I could be wrong. That I find really appealing. So if that's what happens, I'm pretty excited for it. Yeah, I want to know about this message.
If you'll indulge my curiosity, what exactly was the meaning of Albert's message?
Saint Rock is the patron saint of dogs, as well as the falsely accused. If he sent the message along with you, it means he trusts you, and that I should too.
Oh, I see.
Perhaps you were hoping for something more? That's just the way of mysteries, isn't it?
How do you mean?
The thrill of the unknown is always more exciting than the truth. Mystery makes life a little more interesting.
True, but if mysteries were really better unsolved, I wouldn't have a job.
We'll talk about the black room in a minute, or the back room.
What do you know about Juliet, Madame Dupre's daughter?
I know Albert was smitten with her, no matter that I told him to be very careful around her kind. Those rich Creole families don't care much for people like us. To them, we're just a help. But from his telling, Juliet sounded to be a decent soul. It's a shame the same can't be said for her kin.
Okay, let's talk about this back room full of voodoo stuff you got here, girl.
About that back room of yours.
I beg your pardon?
I don't know about this, Miles. Is this really a road you want to go down?
Interesting. I should not have peeked, so I'm going to drop the subject. I mean, obviously I want to know, but if I have a failure state possible in my future, I am going to play it safe.
Actually, never mind. I misspoke.
There you go.
Thank you for your help.
Yeah.
My pleasure.
Of course, that could always give me answers. Who knows? We don't know. Okay. What do we got here? And also, I hope I can come back here if I change my mind. Speak to Juliet Montgomery at the university. Question residents of Dupre Manor. All right. Press her further? You want me to press her further? I'm going to think about it. I don't think I want to, but if I can come back, that would be nice. You can check out 2 others for purchase, a Golden Wake and Shardlight, both on Steam. But I have a bunch of free games at my website. Oh, thank you, Grundislav. I'll check them out for sure. So you did all this? You did the writing and the art and all that? It blows my mind how much work that has to be to put together a game like this without a ton of help. You're making innuendos? Oh. Shame. I need to get a drink though, guys. Hold on, I'm gonna be right back. I gotta alt-tab the game, and the game doesn't seem to like to be alt-tabbed. Hold on. Okay, I'm back. Got me some water. I really need to give Miles some idle animations before full release. Yeah, I can see it. He's just kind of chilling here. That makes sense. I do like that, especially considering they don't have any idle animations. I do like the personal dialogue that they have sometimes, where I get to see both their faces. A game called Herald did that as well. I don't know. I really like that, getting the close up of their faces, getting a little more personal. All right, so I'm not looking back here for now. Maybe what I'm hoping for in the future is that perhaps I can get more information that would make me want to look back there. So I'm going to hold off.
Aren't you going to have your tea, Mr. Fordham?
Oh.
Suit yourself.
Oh. Well, I didn't want to leave. I want my tea. Will she give me the tea if I go back? All right, no big deal.